sorry. I'm so sorry to anyone listening, like, with headphones.
Yeah, headphone listeners, our sincere apologies.
Sorry, if you didn't catch any of that, I highly encourage you. We're pretty bad about posting the YouTube videos up on time, but I'm going to try my darndest this week to have the YouTube video be released the same day as the episode, because we're in costume today. We're covering both the movie X and Pearl, because
Double header,
but I feel like neither of them are particularly long.
No.
They both came out within the past year, which is crazy. That never happens. No. And Pearl is still in theaters, so obviously we wanted to be like hot on the trail, and I am Miss Pearl today.
Dara dyed a whole dress for this. She looks amazing.
Thanks.
She was really giving Pearl, because it was me and Henry like chilling like in her apartment. She's running around. She's like, "Where are my ribbons?
Where are my ribbons?" Doing my little dance, my little Fosse arms. Oh, I really am feeling in character.
The eyebrows is what like does it like fully. Like it's really impressive.
But I've seen Pearl in theaters now twice, because I saw it and then I was like, we have to do this. And then I had to go back again with a notebook, obviously, because I'm anal like that. But I brought two friends and they're like, Dara, that's just you. They're like, yeah, no wonder you like this movie so much. Like, that's just you. Like, you're that. And I was just like, yeah, you're right.
Going to the theater and drinking, like, liquid morphine.
Just microdosing. At the pictures.
We're gonna do this entire podcast in a southern accent.
But that's the best dancing I've ever done. Literally, it escapes my brain that Mia Goth is British.
Have you ever heard, like hearing her, like,
squeaky
actually,
high.
her squeaky little voice? And, like, she's like a mouse. She's like a tiny little mouse I just want to put on my shoulder. And
both Maxine in X and Pearl have, like, lower registered, it's a lot of... So, to me, both the accuracy of the deep southern twang plus the, like, entire register change... Crazy. But Emily is dressed up as Theta, the alligator, which I was considering doing the scarecrow, but I just figured that an alligator onesie would have, like, return on investment for the sake of this podcast.
So if you see us, like, now just doing the podcast in these onesies, I'm gonna have to get a frog one.
Yeah.
So.
But if that wasn't enough, even if you want to, like, just, like, listen to the podcast normal and just, like, peep, I'm sure we'll post some Instagram pictures, but also it'll be on our YouTube. Our little costumes. But yeah, so we're covering both X and Pearl today. This is we're gonna, I think, talk about both of them kind of at the same time. I didn't really intend to do like a one after the other. So if you've seen one and not the other, just know that this is like spoiler heavy content. So if you haven't seen Pearl yet, go like stop this and come back another time, because obviously we're not going to do, like, a hard cut where we transition from X to Pearl. I think they're pretty intertwined, intertwangled, so we can kind of talk about them at the same time. And the process of which they made these movies is really interesting, because the only reason they came out in such close succession to each other was because they filmed it in New Zealand, They filmed X in New Zealand, and then they went into lockdown for COVID. And so they were all stuck there. And so then him and Mia Goth had been kind of coming up with Pearl's backstory just for the sake of X, to, like, kind of give the character more depth. And so then they were in lockdown, and he was like, well, let's just write a movie right now. And so they did it. He's like, does everyone just want to stay? And they were like, yeah. And so everyone just stayed, or Mia Goth at least, and a ton of the crew all just stayed and filmed it back to back.
Love that.
So that's why they came out so close to each other. There's a third movie called Maxine that's going to come out.
It's in production.
Yeah, so that one is going to, like, take a minute. But yeah, it's just interesting how they, I don't know, release them so close together, because I wish more movies did that.
Oh yeah,
like,
for sure.
I was so jazzed.
They don't think they're gonna, like, get the return on investment and all that shit, and, like.
But the thing about this movie that is wild is that the budget
was like nothing, right?
$1 million. X had a budget of $1 million, which is fucking crazy to me.
What did Pearl have? Like, probably like the same.
I think about the same. I would have to look, but I think more, but not much more. Because I think they greenlit X, and then they were like, "Well, yeah, you're like not really asking for like a ton of money." And like A24 was like, "Yeah, fucking do whatever you want."
It's A24.
But yeah, a ton of the people stayed on. Like Pearl's mom.
She was the intimacy coordinator, which is so sick.
So funny because she plays such like a hard ass bitch in Pearl.
Yeah.
I'm like, she's the one being like, okay, now we're doing this porn scene. You guys really got to get into it.
Yeah. Well, I saw like the conversation with T West and like talking about how it was like. He was like, she's an actress, and he was like, yeah, you might as well, like, audition, like, if you don't get it, like, it's gonna be a little awkward, but, like, whatever, and everything like that. She didn't know, like, she plays, like, a very German, like, woman.
Yeah,
like,
she didn't know any
German.
German.
Didn't know any German, like, her accent, like, everything, and she was so spot on, and she was so good.
She slayed.
She slayed.
Everyone slayed. Yeah. In both movies, I really enjoyed both. So my experience with these was that I had not heard or really knew anything about either of them. And then, I don't know, like a couple of months ago, not even that long ago, like I think it was literally within a month before Pearl got released in theaters, Henry was like, hey, there's this horror movie and Kid Cudi's in it.
Yeah.
We should watch it. And I was like, yeah, okay. And I was like, oh, it's like A24. I was like, vaguely like remembered the poster,
concept, yeah.
like, but I didn't know nothing about it. And I was just like, yeah, okay. And then we watched it. I was like, oh yeah, that's so fun. And then my Twitter feed started popping off about literally nothing about the content, but just the movie poster of Pearl, of her like with the it's her face, and she's like cupping her face, and then it's a trail of blood, and her like dragging a body, right? And it was just a conversation about like more movie posters should be that kind of like artful, more impressionist, like interesting layout rather than, I mean, it's like a tired conversation at this point, but like the Marvel, like we're gonna stack every character in a triangle in the center and like, you know, front light them. Like it just is boring. I think like the art of movie posters is kind of lost. And so my Twitter feed was like, oh my God, look at this movie.
Gorgeous poster.
Look at this gorgeous movie poster. I knew nothing. I didn't even realize it was in relation with X. And then I was like, oh, like I think this has to do with that movie we just watched. And I was like let's just go to the theaters and see it because it's out now. And literally all I knew is I was like, oh, it has a nice poster. Yeah. And that's it. And then I left the theater and my brain chemistry was permanently altered. Yup. And then I obviously watched X again, and then I went and saw Pearl again for this podcast, but absolutely adored both of them.
Yeah. Speaking of, this is our podcast.
Oh my God! 7.5 minutes in. Fuck, I really just went off, huh? This is
a lot to talk about.
This is our podcast. It's called The Swamp, and it's an acronym.
Stands for some whack-ass movie podcasting.
And my name is Dara.
That's Pearl.
Today is Pearl. My name is Dara, and I'm here with my lovely Theta, the alligator, Emily. We just talk about movies, and today we're talking about Pearl and X, and we're doing sort of a slasher theme this month, and X definitely qualifies, Pearl a little less so, but we had to lump them together. Like it felt so right.
They belong together. This is what's right.
And so do you have any, like, what was your experience? Did you know anything about these? Because I feel like it was like didn't really get a ton of like.
So I knew just about as much as you did with X. I didn't really have like much interest in it. I didn't watch it like until like maybe a couple of weeks ago. I was at a friend's house and we were like, fuck it, neither of us had seen it. Like, the fall's around the corner. Like, let's watch like a slasher movie. We got very drunk and watched it. Like, I mean, and it's one of those things like, it's like a good movie. It was decent, but like seeing Pearl was like an experience. I went on like a 3:00 on like a Tuesday kind of thing. So I had the entire movie like just to like me and my friend. Or anything like that, which is great,
especially for Pearl, because I'm like, I kind of want to scream loud.
Exactly, because she was like fucking the scarecrow, and we were yelling in the theater.
I'm married. I love.
Yeah, no, but like you said, like that one was a movie like that. Like for the next 2 days after watching it, I was still like thinking about it. Yeah, no, exactly. I'm like, I am not the same woman I was 24 hours ago.
I will say, like, both increased like 1,000 times upon a second watch for me, especially X, because I watched X and then went and saw Pearl, and then I watched X again, and there are so many like little subtle things that you do not pick up the first time, because it's just a slasher movie, right? And then knowing like tidbits from Pearl, you're like, oh my fucking God, like they're doing foreshadowing here, they're doing this here, and then seeing Pearl again a second time with then the second X rewatch was if you haven't seen it twice, like literally even just going to see, if you enjoyed Pearl, go see it again. Because there are just like little lines here and there that I just like picked up that I wouldn't have otherwise. Like in X, they foreshadow everyone's death so specifically, and you wouldn't know unless you know how they die. But like that first scene of what's her name? The bitch from Hairspray.
Hairspray or
Hairspray and Pitch Perfect. What's the blonde bitch?
Oh, Brittany Snow.
Brittany Snow.
Yeah. I forget that she's in Hairspray.
Right.
Yeah, oh my god.
That's when I was bringing two friends to come see Pearl. I was like, oh well, let's watch X first, and we watched it, and I was like, oh, it has that bitch from Pitch Perfect, and they like went through. They're like Rebel Wilson. I was like, no,
Anna Kendrick.
They're the whole thing. Then eventually we got to Brittany Snow, and they're like, bitch, you should have just said Hairspray. Like we would have known who you talked about. I was like, okay, well, whatever. Yeah. But I
just think of Nikki Blonsky when you say Hairspray is the thing.
Yeah.
That's the only person in my mind.
John Travolta. Edna Turnblad. But
Christopher Walken?
When she's first walking out of the like strip club that they work at, there's a huge mural on the back of it of a blonde bitch and an alligator, and the alligator is like tugging at her bikini string. So it's like, and then she gets clapped by the alligator at the end. And then Kid Cudi says something of like, oh, I'm used to having guns pointed at me. A bunch of farmers in Vietnam always were like up on my shit, and then he gets fucking clapped by the farmer, right? So everybody's death like really super foreshadowed in a way that you just like wouldn't have known. But I was like, oh, this is so brilliant, and they use parallel lines of dialogue in X and Pearl that I didn't pick up until my second rewatches of them. Like, at one point, the Brittany Snow's character says, the fact of the truth of the matter is, which is just like so Southern. Yeah. And then in Pearl, what is the sister, the sister-in-law, what was her fucking name? Misty.
Yeah, Misty.
Misty. She's like, the fact of the truth of the matter is. And I was like, they fucking said that in the other movie! Just like had me on my shit. So yeah, definitely worth a rewatch. I guess like
it seems a lot like for me like Midsummer in that way, where like every watch you're gonna pick up more and more. And I do really wish that after I saw Pearl, I went back and watched X again.
Definitely worth it. Also, it took me I think almost to the end of my first watch of X to believe that was her in makeup. Like, because she plays Maxine and she plays Old Pearl, and Henry was like, I think that's like her in prosthetics, and I was like, no fucking way. And it took me almost until the end when they do a lot of like pretty close-up shots of her where I'm like, oh, that is like prosthetics, but like that's wild that they did that.
Yeah. Like, they didn't have to do that.
For what reason? Well, they're like, we could not find a bitch this old and raggedy.
Exactly. Like, we need someone like a little nimble. Like, I get Mia. Do you want to do it?
You're gonna need to run. You're gonna need to dance. Her little dance number after she kills the cameraman, RJ, she like stabs him to the point of decapitation, and then the like car radio is playing Don't Fear the Reaper, and she does like just a little interpretive dance, and I was like, slay queen. That's the point of the movie that it like turned for me, where I was like, this is kind of like, it's a little slow, it's just kind of a slasher, we're just kind of building, like, I guess the like porn angle's kind of unique or whatever, but I was like, okay. The moment she did that little dance, I was like, oh, I'm sold. Like,
this is so funny.
I'm sold for this. I did crack the fuck up when they just start singing Landslide.
Yeah.
For what? For what reason? And they do like the split screen editing, which is just like corny in a way that's like also hilarious. One of my braids fell out.
Oh god.
Oh my god, I'm gonna go ape shit!
Pearl of you. Yeah, no. Well, because I was like, when I first saw the movie, it took me a minute to like realize I'm like, who the fuck the actual like, I guess protagonist is. So I'm sitting there and like until she's actually decapitating this man, I was like, I don't know where this is going.
Yeah.
Because I was like, is it Maxine? Like, because I knew Mia, because I watched it around the time that like Pearl was coming out. So I was like, is Maxine the one? Like, she's coked out. Is she gonna like lose her shit on these people or whatever? Like, I don't know what this is. And it was like the whole like, what was it? Because at the end of the movie, you realize that Maxine is like a preacher's daughter. She's run away and everything like that. And I didn't understand where like the whole like Pearl aspect came in. Because I don't know that it says like that like the old woman, her name is Pearl. Maybe it does.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
Subtle. I will not accept a life I do not deserve.
But, like, so, like, sitting there, like, watching and, like, knowing what I knew about, like, Pearl without knowing much about X was a little confusing, because I didn't know, like, who was who or what was what.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I think the point of somewhat clarity is when she, like, goes in the house and has, like, the lemonade with Pearl.
Yeah.
And Pearl, like, brings her to the old photos, and you see that it's fucking Mia Goth. Like, and she's like, oh, you have a special face or whatever. And I'm like, 'cause bitch, that's fucking you. Like, that's crazy. And she kind of, like, just, like, was like, oh, okay, and then she leaves. If some old bitch brought me into her house and all of her photos were, like, exactly of me, I'd be like, I gotta get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, for real.
Like, that was the part where I was like, oh, there's a little something. And that's when I was like, maybe that is her in makeup. Because, like, they're doing a little something with this.
No. Which must have been interesting for Mia Goth, like, to, like, play, like, alongside herself. You know what I mean? And, like, I'm not smart enough to know, like, how they actually filmed it. Like, obviously I did pick up on the fact that I'm like, there's not really shots with, like, both of them, like, together, like, during their, like, scenes together, you know what I mean?
There's the one scene when they're in the bed together and she's trying to fuck her.
That.
When you love yourself so much that you, like, try to fuck your doppelganger.
I'd do it.
Would you fuck a clone of yourself?
We've had these conversations
on the
many
podcast,
times.
have we?
Not on the podcast, no. This is, I feel like you asked me this in, like, first when we were, like, 14.
Yeah.
And I was like, Dara, what the fuck? And now I'm saying yes, absolutely.
There's this, I think it's
Who
like
knows you better than you? Do you think, it's like, have you seen, it's that Broad City episode?
Yes.
Yeah, where Alana's like, oh, why am I so attracted to you? And it's Ilya Shawkat and I look the exact same and all that shit. And she's like, yeah, dude, like, that's why I'm interested in you. I can tell you, I know exactly where your G-spot is. Like, yeah, absolutely I would. Would you?
But I think, I'm so pro clone fucking. It's ridiculous.
Here's the thing, is would you fuck an old lady version of yourself?
Yeah, I think so. Because, like, Pearl is so horny.
I couldn't imagine being trapped in that old woman body and, like, not being able to, like, you can't get it.
She is just literally begging Howard for dick the whole movie. And he's like,
please,
you know that I'm gonna have a heart attack.
She's like, I don't care.
He's like, bitch, you know it's not, like, I cannot get it up. And they do fuck, and it's terrifying. That's the scariest part of the whole movie. There's literal, like, dead bodies hanging from hooks and, like, stabbing to decapitation. No. The two old people fucking, that's the scariest shit.
Like, how did Mia Goth have to film that? Who was it? Who played Howard? Who played Howard?
Great. So I looked it up, and he is old. Like, I'm gonna say, like, 50 or 60, but they obviously did, like, make up him out, but he's not, like, also, like, I thought it would have been funny if they had
two young people.
Like, yeah, or if they had the Howard actor or, like, the guy playing her, like, boyfriend or whatever, like, makeup, but it's just some other person. Some older guy. I don't know who they... which I tried to figure out how old they're supposed to be, because X takes place in 1918. Pearl is 1918.
Oh, yeah.
And X is 1979. And so if we assume that Pearl is roughly 20 around the time
she's
of
like
Pearl,
90 years old.
She has, I think it's like 81. Should be 81. But I feel like she looks bad.
A bad 81.
It's a bad 81, but I guess if you've been, like, murdering and rampaging, that kind of puts some years on you.
Doesn't exactly rejuvenate the skin. So Howard is the one that comes back from war to, like, her, like, fucked up little dinner scene.
Yes.
I couldn't remember
That's her husband.
That.
Howard. And he stays. Implication, you know, if you've seen X before Pearl, you know that he comes back and he stays.
Yeah.
But it's definitely just out of pure fucking terror that he doesn't, like, leave, or he ends up just kind of helping her. But I don't think it's because he has murderous intent. I think it's just because he's like, fuck, this bitch is gonna clap me.
Well, yeah, and, like, during, like, the movie, or X, I guess, he's, like, sitting there, and he's like, you're all coming in here and shooting your porn videos and, like, tantalizing my wife and all that shit. You're getting her all riled up. Like, why the fuck would you do that? I'm just trying to stay alive a couple more years. Like, you know what I mean?
But, I mean,
he's
clearly that's, like, a process that they've done before, though, right? It's, like, let people stay in the house and then, like, murder them so Pearl can fuck a dead body, which is...
Yeah, but, like, I mean, do you think it's to fuck the dead body, or do you think it's just to get, like, the murder out? Because, like, there's the murder, like, I feel like this is, like, a heightened, this is a heightened scenario, because she can do the murder thing, and, like, that's pretty crazy for her, but, like, murder and sex, that's, like, just overdrive for Pearl, because that's all she wants.
Those are her two.
Those are
her two hobbies. Those are 3 hobbies. Dancing in the pictures, fucking, and murdering.
Killing. Yeah.
When she's like, I think there's something wrong with me. And I'm like, yeah, but you were humping that scarecrow. That's when you go to therapy.
What's a bigger red flag? Fucking a scarecrow or, like, killing someone?
Or wanting to push your, like, disabled father into the river for your pet alligator.
Here's the thing. That's not one of the issues that I have with this movie. That's one of those things where I was like, she's kind of right for that. I'm like, it's 1918, like, which, like, obviously I'm not fucking advocating for anything like that today when you have, like, actual care for someone who is, like...
Back in the day, yeah, just feed him to the alligator. Why not? Also, when she fucking claps her mom, I was like, good. You were kind of right for that, Pearl.
Really?
When her mom pulls a knife on her, and it's like,
does she?
yeah, that big fight scene.
I know the fight, but, like, I didn't remember that there was a knife
It's like
pulled.
thunder is crackling, and they're having dinner.
It was a great fight.
Mm-hmm. And she basically starts screaming. She pulls the knife, and then she puts it on the dad, and she's like, is this what you want? You want him to die?
Yeah.
And then she puts it on herself. She's like, you want me to die too? And
she's like, yeah,
Then she
kinda.
lunges at Pearl. Pearl slaps her, and then she slaps her back, and then she, like, pushes her, but then she pushes her back into the fire. So it was kind of unintentional, but then she did just, like, let her perish.
Yeah. I can't stop looking at your dress.
Thanks. I bought it on, like, Amazon. It was like $20, and it was like originally a cream color, and then I dyed it, so it ended up being kind of more of a pink than I was intending.
No, it's really perfect.
But I bought it because of, like, the high neck and
Yeah.
the big sleeves was a very, like, it's very giving Pearl to me.
No, I'm really impressed that the sparkles took.
Yeah, so originally all the sparkles on my dress were, like, gold, but then I put it just in, like, Rit dye, and I was afraid since they were, like, plastic, they weren't gonna also dye, so it was gonna be, like, a red dress with gold sparkles, which isn't...
It looks great.
super accurate, but the sparkles also dyed, which was kind of nice. But it is more pink than I would like, but, you know, it's a fucking Halloween costume, so who cares?
Anyways, though, sorry, we've been, like, doing this whole podcast, and I'm just looking, I'm like, ooh, shiny.
Just mesmerized.
I'm like, oh my god. Like one of your cats.
Yeah, right. Enrichment in my enclosure.
Oh my goodness. But I don't know. I feel like I could fix Pearl. She's one of those characters where I'm like, I'm not mad.
She needs to be supported. I'm just gonna tell her that she's a star.
She is.
I'm gonna help her get in the pictures. Yeah. We're gonna leave Texas, go to the big city, and she has star quality. That dance routine. Okay, so
it's the best she'd ever danced.
Seeing it a second
was
time
so funny.
in the theaters, literally for roughly 15 minutes leading up to the dance number, I was like choking on my own, like, laughter because I was holding it back because I was, like, thinking about what was coming up. Mm-hmm. And, like, I had brought people who had never seen it. I was like, oh my god, I can't start laughing now because they're gonna know that something's up, but I'm so fucking excited for her to go. just her little, and the fact that then, like, all of the World War I, like, backup dancers come out behind her, it's so iconic.
So good.
That to me is way better than the fallout of her, like, screaming with the snot running down her face, being like, I'm a star, which is pretty iconic. And I love how she really committed to the fluids of her face, like, really getting in on that. But to me, it's the dance number.
No. Well, the dance number, like, that scene gave me such fucking whiplash. Like, honestly, like, the build-up to her, like, actually auditioning, and you can, like, feel that anxiety.
It has to be me.
It has to be me. And then, like, her doing the dance, which is so fucking funny. And, like, that's the one thing I knew, like, going into this movie, I had, because at this time, like, the movie had been out for, like, a week or two or something like that. And so I had, like, and I'm chronically online, so, like, I had seen, like, the I'm a star thing going around Twitter, and, like, even before seeing it, like, in the context of a movie, it made me, like, so deeply unsettled and deeply, like, uncomfortable.
Because she commits.
I don't even know what it is. Like, I feel, like, I guess, like, that's one of the things that I really like about this movie is that I still feel so bad for Pearl.
Yeah.
Like, this entire movie.
She's sympathetic.
Yeah, exactly. That, like, seeing her, like, that upset and that crushed and, like, having a fit like that, like a child, like, made me, like, so, like, I wanted to peel my skin off and, like, leave the theater. Like, I don't know, like, absolutely, like, emotional whiplash watching that scene. And then, like, afterwards, where Mia Goth is, like, outside the church house and then, like, just scream crying into her arms.
Which is so relatable. Like, do you ever just need to, like, yell while you're crying? And, like, she just got the snot and she's just yelling.
But, like, it made, oh my, like, I felt, like, so upset, like, genuinely. Like, I was, like, sitting there, I was like, this feels like, I don't even know. It's, like, I don't know if it's a maternal feeling or something, or if it's, like, I just want to, like, nurture her and, like, give her a hug, but, like, the fact that, like, her as a character who's, like, so fucked up and, like, so, like, weird and, like, so, like, you know what I mean? Like, I still feel, like, so bad for her.
She just wanted
and,
to
like,
dance in
and
the
she
pictures.
just wanted to dance in the pictures. Even though she's killing Goose and her parents and all that shit.
Oh
like, that's how, like, I knew I was, like, this movie, I think that's one of the reasons why I was, like, this has me, like, really fucked up. But, like, that's one of the reasons why I think that this movie is, like, I think it's outstanding. I think it's an amazing movie that, like, and I, like, horror movies don't really, like, do that for me, but, like, this one really got me, like, in my chest. Like, even just talking about it, I feel like ugh.
Right, it just is gonna be such a fucking bummer when, I mean, we all know the Oscars are fucked, we all know that award shows are fucked and rigged and stupid and just all for, like, publicity and backdoor swindle deals. Like, they don't actually mean anything, but I do follow them just because I enjoy the, you know, the tracking of the progress. Yeah, but it's gonna be a fucking crime when Mia Goth does not get a Best Actress nomination for this film, because that monologue, she puts it out, like, the whole, everyone's kind of like citing the monologue as the reason why that her, like, performance has merit, but to me it's like, it's the rest of it. Like, I didn't even need that monologue. Like, it was great or whatever, and and it's, like, a one-take situation, so it's, like, clearly very impressive, but it's, like, the subtle moments. Well, nothing about this movie is subtle, but it's, like, I don't know. That wasn't the defining thing for me. It was, like, the screaming, I'm a star. Like, what the fuck? Nobody else could have pulled that off. I think because she was so deeply, like, she wrote it, she has, like, a writing credit and a producer credit, so, like, clearly it was, like, a project that she was, like, very much involved in. She wasn't just the actress, she was, like, a creator as well. But yeah, it's gonna be fucked up when she doesn't get a nomination, because, like, that was one of the best performances, like, in a long time that I've seen.
Absolutely outstanding. Like, seriously.
But I was, like, riding a permanent high in the theater from the moment that got me so hard the second time around was when she kills the projectionist, and she puts him back in his car, and she pushes it into the lake, and then she just waves and goes, au revoir! It was so camp. She was so
cunty.
Au revoir! And then she prances on over to her dance audition, and then from that moment all the way through the end of the dance, I was like snickering and giggling to myself, because I was like
kicking my little feet in the theater.
I was like, oh my god! I was like, this movie is so, like, high camp. It's
so high camp. Oh my god!
That little au revoir moment, like, I literally was like hyperventilating because I was laughing so hard.
This movie is one that, like, I know, like, it probably doesn't even need, like, like, how long is it gonna have to take for it to be, like, a cult classic? Like, you know what I mean? Because this is cult classic material, like, in the making. Yeah, like, give it, like, because, like, what, Jennifer's Body got, like, 10 years, and then it was, like, a cult classic. Yeah, give it 10 years.
I think this is, I mean, maybe it's just because I'm on the corner of the internet that is talking about Pearl, but it is the movie that I've seen the most, like new movie that's I've seen more Pearl shit on my TikTok page than Don't Worry Darling shit.
Which, mind you, I wish that instead, like, you've seen Don't Worry Darling at this point? Yeah. I wish that...
I thought it was bad. I'll say it. I didn't like it.
I didn't mind it.
It was like a really mid episode of Black Mirror. Yeah. Is my, like, takeaway.
Yeah. I think, honestly, it's tough to say, but I think it was too much Florence Pugh. She was the only person... Like, she's the one good thing about it, but, like, she was the... Anyways, we can talk about this another time.
Yeah.
But, I wish that the dance that Harry Styles did was the one that Pearl did instead.
They're really similar. When Harry Styles does, that was the only part where he was good in that movie.
I really love
is when he does his little tap dance.
I love
it. That's because Harry Styles is not an actor. He's a performer.
He's a performer.
He's a stage performer.
Yeah.
He needs to do his little tap dance. That's just...
I liked when they grossified him, though.
Yeah.
It really brought him down to earth. Like
Incelified.
Yeah, that is just a man.
Yeah.
It's just a guy.
It gave me the ick for sure.
I liked it.
So I'm gonna say it. So I'm gonna force myself to do it. I really want to make Pearl merch for the Swamp, and I want it to be her like iconic smile with "Born to Slay, Forced to Work," which is like pretty. I'm saying it now so that y'all hold me accountable. I'm gonna make like little stickers or something if y'all want Pearl stickers.
Yeah. I think I posted that on my story.
Yeah. Born to Slay, Forced to Work. That's her whole scenario.
Exactly. Which is
what X is just like born to fuck, aged to filth. Like
I think we should make that sticker. Oh my god.
I also love a really great subtle moment from X that, like, having seen Pearl gave it good context, is when I think her name is like Bobby Lynn, is Brittany Snow's character. Her name is like Bobby Lynn, when she pushes her into the river, or lake, I guess.
I love that the alligator's right there.
Yeah, like waiting. He's like, delicious. Compliments to the chef. But
she didn't even have to call Theta. She knew.
But she pushes her in and she gets clapped, and then Howard says like, "Oh, is that the one that you liked?" And she goes, "You know, I don't like blondes." And it's because in Pearl they were like, "We're looking for someone younger and more blonde." And she goes, "You know, I don't like blondes." I like that. That was a second. I was like, "Oh, I got you. I got you, Ty West." Who also I have to commend. I'm no professional critic of film in any regard, but the composition of this movie is fucking amazing, and I think it's because he wrote, directed, and edited it.
Absolutely.
I think editing your own movie is like something so... Because, like, you, like, writing the story, but then having somebody else, like, piece it together. Like, I know that there are, like, director's editing sessions, and that's, like, a whole, it's, like, very collaborative. But the fact that he did all three of those things himself, like, you know that his vision, like, that this was his fucking
what
vision,
he wanted.
Right? And the opening credits for Pearl with the font, the typeface, just the beautiful, the sweeping score, like, it's very Wizard of Oz, it's a very, like,
all in Technicolor, like, you know what I mean?
Right, it's just gorgeous, and knowing that he, like, that was his intention for writing it, for directing it, for all of it, it's just, like, I cannot wait to see... I hope that the third installment is just as good. It doesn't even need to be as good as Pearl, because that's like a 10 out of 10. But like, even if it holds up to X, I'll be really satisfied. But I'm really excited to see what he does in the future, because I hope that the success, or at least like niche cultural impact of X and Pearl up to now has proven that he deserves bigger budgets and more stuff. And clearly what they did with $1 million for X is fucking crazy. I think that there fully should be an award category for like movies made for less than 10 million.
Yeah, honestly.
Because like that's wild that they did that. And to me, I could not believe X had a budget of $1 million and they licensed fucking Don't Fear the Reaper, Landslide, and in the summertime, and
when
the
weather is hot,
in the summer.
I started having an aneurysm when that song came on.
That was like a thing in our high school, was like that song. It was like a thing.
I got pulled like ripped from the depths of my brain, like way far in the back, like down towards my neck.
Suddenly I feel 14.
Exactly.
I feel very 14. But I can't believe, I'm like, those three songs had to have cost $1 million
on their own.
Yeah. So I'm like, what, like, where did that money go? Like, that's wild to me.
I have no idea.
They really licensed the shit out of some music. Well, howdy! It's Jen, my mother dearest, and she's here to host our interim podcast segment, Chocolate or Vanilla. This accent is it's fading into something dark and sinister, I fear.
It's not the Pearl accent,
no.
is it? Okay. No. I didn't watch the movie, so I don't know.
She's deeply Southern, but in a way that's a little less...
Theta!
But... Yeah, Mom, you're here. Hi, welcome back. Chocolate or Vanilla, you're going to say two things. We're all going to say which one we like better. Is there a theme this week?
There is a theme. Oh, no, there's no theme. It's just off the dome, random stuff.
Oh,
Great.
I love this.
Yeah,
This is my
that's it.
favorite.
Yeah, I know Emily likes the random no
Yeah.
theme.
No
Yeah.
theme is my favorite theme, yeah.
So chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate.
Vanilla.
Chocolate. Chocolate, vanilla, strawberry.
Chocolate.
Still vanilla.
Yeah, I'm gonna go strawberry. Okay, first one is the emoji with the heart eyes or the emoji with the tears coming out of his eyes like LOL?
Laugh. I think I used that one a little excessively, so I definitely will say the laugh cry. It's just, it just does the job. Gets the job done, for sure.
See, I've converted from that one to, like, the one that, like, looks like it's kind of in pain laughing.
Where it's streaming down their eyes?
No,
Okay.
no. But I do like the heart eyes.
Oh, with the
one.
eyebrows, with the furrowed eyebrows?
Yeah.
Where it, like, could have multi-purpose.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm gonna go for the heart eyes.
My favorite is the emoji with no mouth. It's just the eyes. That one is always like ooh,
That's
like
kind
there's
of creepy.
yeah, but it's also when you're like I'm covering my mouth, like
The halfway salute is like really
so
popular
good.
right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll go with the laughing out loud. Again, I use that one way too much, I think.
I will say I dislike when people use the laughing one and then there's another one where it's the laugh cry one but it's sideways.
Yeah.
And they do that one back and forth.
It's
like,
a lot. It's too much.
Whiplash. That's like people go like LOL, LOL.
Enough. Yeah.
One,
Get it.
one, just one.
Yeah.
Be punctual.
I just thought, I think we should go like a week with no emojis and see what happens.
As a society.
Just no, as a family. Which means you and me. Because Dad and I don't use emojis.
No.
Next one is brownies or chocolate chip cookies. Which I know we've done these before. but
Yeah,
I was just in that kind of mood.
I think I'll pick chocolate chip cookies. Consistently are there for me. A bad brownie, fuck it. But a good brownie, great. But the threshold on a chocolate chip cookie, even the worst of chocolate chip cookies, are like still pretty all right. Like I'm just thinking of like the shittiest like store brand, like Little Debbie type, which can be good
Still
in some ways,
hits.
but like a bad brownie, but a bad chocolate chip cookie is like still good to me.
Yeah. As a person that always chooses vanilla, like chocolate's not my thing. A brownie is too much chocolate for me, but a chocolate chip cookie is right in the center of where I want it.
Also, did you know that the chocolate chip cookie is the state cookie of Massachusetts?
I did not.
Because it was invented here.
Whitman, Mass.
Really?
Yeah, because somebody was trying to make chocolate cookies, but they didn't make the dough hot enough, and typically you would mix in the chocolate chips and they would melt, and it would make chocolate cookie dough, but they let the dough cool, and then they stirred in the chocolate chips, and thus the chocolate chip cookie was invented.
Neat.
It was an accident.
Yeah, the Toll House is in Whitman, like maybe 5 minutes from where I grew up. And that was where my first communion party was.
Congrats, Jen.
That's really cool.
I don't remember if we had chocolate chip cookies or not.
You must have.
I'm sure. I'm sure signatures there. It burned down though. It's no longer there.
Somebody left the oven on?
I am gonna go brownie because that's why I picked this. Is I've had a bunch of good brownies lately, so
Just on a brownie roll.
the brownie roll. I love brownies with frosting on top, which is probably way too much chocolate for you.
Too much.
No, it depends. It depends. Like when I'm on my period, all I want is like sweets, like really bad. So like if I'm like having like terrible cramps, like a brownie with some a chocolate ganache on top would probably save my life.
Brownie and an Advil. Turning clocks back or turning clocks forward?
What's the one where you gain an hour?
Turning clocks back.
Yeah,
That's what we're doing like next week.
Exactly.
Thank God.
Nobody
Yeah.
ever wants to lose an hour.
Yeah.
Also, isn't it like highly debatable whether we actually need to be doing that as a society anymore? Because it's all about farming, and I think even the farmers have said like it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
I think this is the last time.
Oh, really? We're getting rid of it?
I believe so.
Wow.
Yeah,
Did they take a vote?
I think
Yeah, I
this is
think
what
so.
I've heard. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Goodbye to daylight savings.
I guess.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, we don't really need it. Every time it happens, I'm like, what?
But that means we won't get it won't stay super light out late in the summer. Like, you know how you're outside at 8 o'clock?
even
and you're
it
like,
will.
I can't believe it's 8 o'clock.
Even it will, because
It
it'll
will,
just
just
be
not like
less.
just
Not as, yeah.
Yeah. I will go with gaining an hour. So pulling the clocks back. I
Yeah,
guess.
same.
Yeah, there's
And just out of solidarity, since this is our last one.
Yeah. We should have a party
Honestly, yeah.
where we do
When is
something
that?
in our gained
That's like
hour.
Monday.
Our last gained hour ever.
I think it's next week.
It should be like the purge.
I think it's a weekend of Halloween, and it happens at 2 a.m.
We should all do crimes.
Yeah. Oh God. Maybe cut that. Maybe edit that.
Hold on. When is the last daylight savings?
It's always on a
I think
Saturday night,
on a Saturday night.
so it won't.
It's on my calendar somewhere because I know I just had it. Daylight savings time. Yeah, so the 6th.
November 6th.
November 6th. Let's have a party.
Nice. I'm down. Next one is regular milk or chocolate milk.
Chocolate milk.
Yeah.
Chocolate milk, yeah. Regular, I mean, if we're just talking straight cow's milk, unless it's a scenario in which I need it for like a baking purpose or like a cooking purpose, I don't typically keep it in my house because it just goes bad and I don't use it.
Yeah, chocolate milk for sure.
Yeah, same chocolate milk.
You ever had like gourmet like chocolate milk kind of stuff? Mm-hmm. So good, so good.
Gourmet chocolate milk?
I'm just thinking because we have like a good farm down near where I live. That's like kind of like
not just like a Hershey's into milk, like a you bought it like a
Yeah.
Okay, for mixed drinks, blue drink, green drink, red drink.
Just based on somebody's telling me here are 3 alcoholic beverages. And they're just blue, red, and green, and I get to pick which one.
Yes.
I think the safe choice is the red, but I think the right choice is the blue. I'm gonna pick the blue. I like the way the color blue tastes is so specific. Blue raspberry is not real. We just created that.
So artificial.
That's a man-made invention. Are things that taste blue. But like, I'm just thinking about like Friendlies. How Friendlies would have like the blue drink and the red drink, and I would always pick the blue drink.
Yeah. The light blue one or the dark blue one?
I think the light blue one was cotton candy and the dark blue one was raspberry, and I think I liked the darker one.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with blue drink on this one as well.
Green drink, now that's just sinister. I don't trust a green drink.
Margarita is kind of green.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
But
I'll go red, blue drink for the sweep.
Okay.
Yeah. Next one is an iWatch, a regular watch, or no watch.
Apple
Watch. Yeah.
I am a no watch individual. I don't like jewelry or things on my body really ever. Like, I can do earrings and I wear a little wedding ring, but even that I have a hard time not fidgeting with. So any like watch or bracelet, I like incessantly like rub it into my skin until it becomes a problem. So I am typically a watchless / braceletless individual. And I can just look at my phone for what time it is. I don't need that.
I am a staunch watch wearer. I can't like leave the house without a watch on. I don't own an Apple Watch. I don't, because like that's too like set in stone of what it looks like and what it is. I want to be able to like choose, like pick out my watches like for the day and for the occasion and everything like that. But like if I leave the watch or leave the house without a watch on, I feel naked. I feel exposed. I feel very uncomfortable. Even if I have a watch that doesn't work, but it looks better with the outfit, I'll wear that because like it's fashion more than function, and I can't feel. I want to feel comfortable, so I'm gonna go with a regular watch because I feel like an Apple Watch is limiting to me as a watch person.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god, I 1000% agree with every single thing you just said. I have my Apple Watch on, but I hate that I can't change it. Mm-hmm. Yep. And
you do a lot of the band switching.
I bought a ton of bands and hoping that it would make me feel like I was
it
back
doesn't
to my
scratch the
original
edge,
watch
does it?
self. Nope. I definitely have put on watches that do not work because they match my outfit.
Yep.
Yes.
That's we always knew growing up if we had to like get you a gift for like Mother's Day or your birthday or something, like a watch was always a super like Dad would always be like, just like run to JCPenney, get her a watch, it'll be great. Like,
I just love a good watch. Next one is jeans or sweats.
I'll pick jeans. I am a jean wearer.
Yeah. I don't own a lot of jeans, but like these jeans that I'm wearing at the very moment are like one of my favorite like pieces of clothing that I own.
I feel like a comfy pair of jeans can be just as like comfortable as sweatpants.
Yeah, exactly. No, I 100% agree. People that are like, I can't wear jeans, like it's too restricting. I'm like, you just have a bad pair of jeans. Yeah. You just don't have jeans that fit you right. These are my best friends. My rotten soldier.
My sweet cheese. My good time boy.
Exactly. Good pair of Levi's, that's all I need. So, jeans.
Same, jeans for the sweep. Roller coaster or water slide?
Roller coaster, because I think like getting into communal water is a little scary. Like water parks are a little like I'm not even really like a germ person. Like germs don't really scare me, but like there's always a rogue Band-Aid floating around and just like everyone's pissing and I just don't want that noise. So I'll pick the roller coaster.
I'm gonna try and separate this from the public pool sector. I'm gonna go with a water slide because I don't love roller coasters. I get really sick really easy. It's just too much for me. But a water slide I can get down with, especially if there's a tube involved and it's not my. I mean, basically it ends up being my bare ass against like plastic if there's no tube. But if there's a tube, I'm rocking with the water slide.
I'll go water slide too. One time we went to this place in Maine where the floor dropped out from underneath you and it shot you straight down.
Yep.
Yeah. That was fun. A bicycle built for two or a unicycle?
I would probably pick the unicycle because I just think that that's a talent and a skill.
Yeah.
But a tandem bike just seems like one person's gonna do all the work, and we all know it.
Tandem bicycles are like stupid and like don't actually work. Like it's just a novel thing that people do, and if you do it and like people see you doing it, they're just gonna think you're a fucking idiot. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, unicycle, like that's badass. If you can ride a unicycle, like you have crazy balance. You worked hard at this. You put in the money or the time and the money to even get a unicycle.
And for what? Just to do it? That's kind of awesome.
Yeah, just to ride around your town on a unicycle, you're badass. Unicycle.
Same, unicycle. Thunderstorm or blizzard?
Thunderstorm because I don't have to shovel my car out of the snow after, even though I love the aesthetics of being inside while it's snowstorming and you can like, ooh, I'm going to put on Lord of the Rings and make a stew. Like, that's definitely the vibes, but then being like, oh, I have to go to work in the morning and unbury my car. Like, that fucking sucks. And like, stairs and it's a whole thing. A thunderstorm, you
can still make a stew and put on Lord of the Rings.
Exactly. And that's just a quick and easy, no damage done, other than potentially like losing your power in trees, but that's like few and far between. A snowstorm always has snow.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you on thunderstorm. I love laying in bed thunderstorming, like early morning thunderstorm, midday thunderstorm is a treat.
Oh my god, evening thunderstorm, late night thunderstorms. There are just so many different times of day.
Yeah, I'm here for a thunderstorm.
I'll take a blizzard as long as I can stay inside.
Okay.
Yeah. Hiking, biking, or kayaking?
I guess I'll pick hiking because I feel like that's the easiest one when you're like kind of over it for it to end. Whereas like if you've kayaked out to somewhere, you have to kayak back. Or if you've biked, I don't know how to ride a bike. So that's just kind of off the table completely.
We tried so hard to teach you how to ride a bike.
I'd love to get you on one.
I think it's too late.
Good luck.
It's past that point.
It's too late for me.
See, kayaking is like really fun when you start, but like at a certain point you're like, eh.
Like, fuck, I'm tired and now I have to kayak back.
My arms hurt.
Yeah.
Also, have you ever been like out in a lake and you just have to like really start to pee? When you're in a kayak, there is nothing you can do. You're stranded. You can't even, like, shimmy your ass over the side of a kayak to, like, pee. Like, there's nothing. I've had to, like, go and, like, hightail it back from the middle of a lake to, like, back to someone's house. My arms had never been sore.
In the context of this movie, actually, I went with Henry's family to Florida, and we went kayaking like with the alligators.
That's cool.
So you kayaked out, and all the alligators were like chilling on the rocks, and you could get real fucking close to them. And I was like, damn, I didn't sign a waiver or anything, so this could just like end right now. But yeah, we got super close to a bunch of alligators, which was pretty cool.
Yeah. See, I liked it. Like, paddleboarding, I think I can get down with more, like, in a context.
Because you can jump in the water to pee. Yeah, it's, like, less you're restricted by the plastic of a boat.
Dude, just the fact that, like, if I was on a bike, I could get off to pee. If I could hike, I can just pop behind a tree. But anyways, I really... Kayaking, out of the picture. Hiking is kind of a lot sometimes. I'm going, like, uphill, like, almost, like, all of it. No, thank you. I'll bike.
I'm gonna hike. Do you have to pee right now?
No. I just had like one really specific memory where I had to like pee insanely bad in a kayak, and like there was another person, they didn't even make it to shore. It was like a whole thing.
Okay, being the first one up in the morning or being the last one to sleep at night at your house?
I'm never the last one up. I'm sleepy. I'm a sleepy lady. I am never the last one up. I rarely experience it. I'm typically not the first one up either, but I guess I'll
sleepy lady.
But I guess I'll pick that one because it happens to me more.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with first one up. Because it just feels nice to kind of, like, have that hour in the morning to yourself and get your day going in, like, a sort of little, like, slow way, like, you know what I mean? Just, like,
Put on the coffee.
Exactly.
Sit on the porch.
Yeah.
I don't have a porch, but it would be nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, same. I like being the first one up in the morning. Single knot your sneakers or double knot your sneakers when you tie them?
No, I don't tie them at all. Untied.
Untied?
Untied. No knots.
Okay, not an option though.
Oh, I'll pick one.
Okay.
I'll go double knots.
I double knot too. Cream of broccoli soup or Italian wedding soup?
I feel like I don't really fuck with the Italian soups. It's too much going on. But I love a broccoli cheddar, so I'll pick her.
Easily broccoli cheddar.
Yeah, same. Broccoli
soup. A minestrone, just not really for me. I don't.
Like I'll eat Italian wedding soup, but I don't like the little meatballs in them. Coffee cake or carrot cake?
Ooh, I have to pick coffee cake for consistency purposes because sometimes carrot cake has raisins in it or like huge chunks of like. You can really fuck up a carrot cake in a bad way. I do a good carrot cake, yes, but like a carrot cake that's like a really raisin forward carrot cake, I'm all set with that. But a coffee cake I think it'd be kind of a crime to put raisins in a coffee cake. I'm sure someone's done it, but that's less of likely of a thing to pop up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I just think like a really good carrot cake versus a really good coffee cake is what's gonna like be the thing for me. It's definitely carrot cake.
Oh,
you love a cream cheese frosting.
Yeah, you got me there.
I'm gonna go with the coffee cake. I like the cinnamon crunchy top on it.
That's fair.
Next one, a really big dog or a really little dog?
I like a really big dog because sometimes really little dogs like make me upset because I just think about like that all dogs evolutionarily came from wolves and like a pug we did that. Yeah. That did not happen by nature.
We should pay for that.
We made pugs, and they have so many breathing problems, and like we should pay for our crimes. So all the really little dogs, I'm like that just seems like an unfortunate like purposeful breeding thing that is like Also, I feel like a lot of time people spend a lot of money on like little dogs, like designer dogs. So I'm like, dude, why are you spending like thousands of dollars on a little designer dog when there are so many dogs that just like need homes that you can get for like $30?
Yep.
So that's my.
No, I'm a big dog guy for sure. They're just more friendly, also, in my opinion.
I agree. Big dog. Last one. Nachos, wings, or spin dip?
Ooh,
that's tough. Again, for consistency's sake, I'm gonna say nachos.
Yeah.
Because it always will hit, Whereas like a spin dip, I've never made it at home. I don't think that seems like a lot of work. And at a restaurant, it's like who's to say?
Probably
wings, it's like flavor profiles. What are we talking about here? Nachos.
Yeah.
Now I'm hungry. Like now I want nachos right now.
Good nacho, bad nacho. It's still a good nacho. So definitely a nacho for me.
True. I'm going to go nacho for the sweep. I love nachos.
Yeah.
Stunning. Well, that was great, Jen. No theme. Sometimes we love a no theme. A little chaos. Well, thank you as always. I'll try to post these on the Instagram, and y'all can vote for which ones you liked better. And we'll see you next week.
Okay. Yeah, I love you guys. Have an awesome week.
Bye.
Bye.
And the thing for me that was like so impressive with Pearl was the colors. Insane.
Beautiful.
Fucking gorgeous, which is obviously what they were going for. Like very Wizard of Oz, like Technicolor 1920s like type shit. But there, and like especially like talking about the editing, there was that one montage after Pearl did her, oh my god, the funniest thing, her cunty walk with the axe.
Oh, yes! I love, though, that the blonde bitch, Mitzi, is fucking running. And she trips, and Pearl is, like, just stomping. She's, like a sauntering stomp.
Yeah.
Right, with her axes. I'm like, Mitzi, you don't even have to run. Like, she's gonna get you.
Yeah, come on, like, just give up now.
Yeah.
But, like, after she kills Mitzi, and there's, like, this giant montage
For
of
decapitating.
her decapitating her, feeding her to the alligator, setting up her dead parents, like, in the fucking dining room, making this disgusting feast thing. Like, that montage made me want to, like, again, crawl out of my skin, like, rip it off, throw it away.
It was the maggots on the pig for me that I was like, oh. But they do like a split screen sort of like two things are happening on either side.
Which
and
is
like
what happened with like X,
and they
right?
did it in X too. They used that both like pretty like and it's funny. It's like equally as scary as it is funny because she's like decapitating a body and feeding it to an alligator, but like the composition of it just like made me giggle.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, oh, it's just so perfect. And yeah, I think that has to do something with him also being the editor. I was just like really impressed with the whole execution.
Oh my god, it was outstanding.
Across the board. But you mentioned Wizard of Oz, and I read this article, and I was like, at first I'm like, you're really trying to do too much here, because they're like, Pearl is the horror remake of Wizard of Oz, and here's why. And I was like, okay, like, I get, like, the reference, and I'm like, I think this is kind of a stretch, but then they go through and they relate each character to who their Wizard of Oz counterpart is. And again, I'm like, this is like, you're really trying to do too much. But I did read the whole thing, and I was like, at the end of it, I was like, okay, maybe I'm convinced. So, like, obviously, Pearl is Dorothy. Pearl's mom is Annie M., who, like, is kind of a hardo in Wizard of Oz. The projectionist is the wizard, like, the man behind the curtain, right?
Sure.
Right, okay, whatever. The scarecrow is the scarecrow. That one's just a given.
Have you ever just fucked a scarecrow just to feel something?
I just think that I wouldn't like the feeling of hay texture.
Bro, could you... Oh my god, the amount of tongue she was using with the scarecrow was scary. That was, again, one of the most...
That made my skin crawl.
That was one of the most horrifying parts of this movie, was Mia Goth fully tonguing this scarecrow.
Oh my god.
I was sitting there, I was like, I kind of want what he has, though.
Right? Yeah, she was coming into it. Okay, so this is where it kind of, like, got me, is that her dad is the Tin Man, because he's, like,
can't move.
Rusted, right? Okay, sure. Howard, her husband, is the Cowardly Lion, because he's too scared to leave her at the end, right? Like, okay.
Yeah, sure.
Mitzi is Glinda, I think just because they're both blonde. And have, like, curly blonde hair.
Sure.
Right? And then Theta the alligator is Toto. I liked that one.
I like that.
Right?
I like that a lot.
So I read this whole article, and I was like, yeah, you're trying to do too much, but, like...
But I can rock
that's silly
with
and
it.
fun. Like,
Yeah, sure. Oh my god. I want to do, like, a which character are you BuzzFeed quiz now for Pearl.
For Pearl.
Do they have that?
I am Pearl.
We don't need a BuzzFeed quiz to know that.
It just really did got me when she says, like, au revoir, when she pushes him in, because my new favorite word as of late has been bonsoir. And just in any situation, arriving or leaving, if you just say bonsoir, it really sets the tone.
Do you have Pearl's X Factor, or do you accept a life that you don't deserve? All right.
BuzzFeed, we'll post the link to this in the description.
All right, pick an animal from your farm to befriend.
Okay.
What do you feel?
Well, this is too obvious, because if you're picking the alligator, you're just, like, trying to be Pearl.
Course.
So you pick.
I like the cow. The cow, what was the cow's name?
Mary.
Oh my god. Yeah, Charlie the cow.
Charlie, Mary.
Was the cutest fucking thing I'd ever seen in my life.
They're named after all my favorite picture stars.
While going outside, you encounter a scarecrow. What would you do?
Fuck it. Give it a special dance. What are you gonna do?
I don't know. I'm not gonna fuck the scarecrow. Like, that's not me. Would you fuck the scarecrow?
It's 1918 and my husband is at war. That scarecrow's looking mighty fine.
I'm gonna leave it as it was. I'm not going out of my way to jump up that post and pull the scarecrow down.
I'm betting now that you're gonna get the dad.
You think?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever thought of pursuing your dreams or leaving your family? Yes. Pick one of these to prevent someone from grabbing your X factor. There's an axe, no, stop it. An axe, a pitchfork, theta, or my appearance and talent. I feel like I could rock with an axe the most. A pitchfork's pick one of these pictures to enjoy your beautiful Technicolor life. A free ride, Palace Follies, Cleopatra, The Wizard of Oz. This one's cuntiest, is Cleopatra, so I'm gonna give that. Pick one of this. Oh, Pearl, obviously, instead of Maxine. Do you accept the life that you don't deserve? Where are you?
That's a deep question. What do I deserve, though? Not much.
Guess who has the X Factor, guys?
Oh,
It's just a little bit.
it's not even like a what character are you? It's just
damn.
Do you have
it?
I guess you do.
I guess I've got the X Factor.
Oh my god, but it's got a little gif of her doing her dance, and it's just making me giggle.
Ugh.
So funny. But I love, to speak of Maxine, her blue eyeshadow. The blue eyeshadow sales have spiked 8,000%, girlies, since the release of X, because it made me want to do like a fierce
It was so
70s
good.
like aggressive blue eye look.
Really? It just made me want to do coke.
They want to do porn with Kid Cudi.
Oh my god.
There's a scene where they show Dong, and I
Did they?
yeah, when he's standing in the doorway, and
Oh,
it's
yeah.
his silhouette.
And it's, like, full
and it's
cock
his
out,
fat
yeah.
cock just like swanging between his legs.
Yeah.
I'm like, I wonder if that's real. Like,
I don't know. I feel like definitely not.
Probably not,
Definitely not. That's just like, and I feel like Kid Cudi wouldn't want that out and about. You know what
it
I
was
mean?
huge though.
Yeah, exactly.
I would if that was
If
real.
that was his real cock, then yeah, go for it. Oh my god.
Okay, wait, can we talk for a second about the presence of like masks and like the whole like virus element to it?
Yeah.
Because in Pearl, I thought that was really interesting, and I immediately was like, I wonder if this was intentional because they were filming during the pandemic
COVID,
and had to have people wear masks, and so they just like looped that in. And I meant to like go back and like fact check if I know, like, you know, during COVID, everyone says like, oh, back in the day they wore masks or whatever, but like I didn't read into it, so I can't really say for sure either way. But like, did people like for the Spanish flu like wear masks? Out
Most definitely. Yeah. No, it's definitely.
That's like wild that they just like conveniently incorporated that.
Yeah.
I guess. That really, it always kind of jars me. It's happened a very select number of times, but in media when they do the whole mask thing,
Yeah.
because I think a lot like
Where they're like, COVID is a thing.
Yeah,
like,
right, I feel like-
we are integrating this into our plot line.
right. I think like 99% of things like are like, let's pretend this never happened,
Yeah.
which is fine by me because I
Yeah.
don't really want to see it. But when it does happen, I'm like, wow, like that's really a choice because it is something that's still happening that people are like choosing to like ignore or forget about, I guess. So I just specifically, was it Drive My Car, the Oscar nominated movie from this past year? It ends with just like her like wearing a mask in the grocery store and like it just being like a fact of the matter that we're like up to present day and that COVID exists. And I was just like, that's wild, because you just don't expect movies to do that really.
Yeah.
But like it is the fucking truth.
Yeah.
Like-
this is like actually what's going on.
But yeah, I don't know, seeing people in masks in this, I was just kind of like, oh, interesting. Like,
Yeah. My jump scare for this, besides the masks, was David Cornsweet,
yeah.
who I love. I don't know if you've watched
I have.
Hollywood.
Yeah.
Love him.
And he was in The Politician.
yes, he was
which
in The
I-
Politician.
Both are
Very
like
Ryan Murphy,
Murphy,
yeah.
Ryan Murphy romps, which like I can't say that I particularly like loved either one of them, but like I did watch them because Ryan Murphy knows how to make like a entertaining, pleasing
entertaining show.
TV. You know, whether
give it to
you
him.
objectively want to say it's
Yeah.
good or bad,
it's
Ryan Murphy
correct,
knows how to make entertaining content.
Yeah, exactly. But I love that man. Love
Yeah,
that
he's
man a lot.
great.
And
He
he's
definitely
really good in this movie. Really hot in this movie.
his little mustache. And he's like, let's watch porn. And she's like, I just want to dance.
Fuck that! I'm watching porn with him.
He's like, I want to see you up there. And she's like, dancing, not fucking, dancing.
Which again is like a whole nod to, because he was like, it's that whole scene where he's like, yeah, this is gonna be the thing, like they do this over in Europe, like it's gonna be like a big thing, and then like it's obviously cut to X and they're fucking filming porn and all that shit.
Which I know the third movie, Maxine, is about, I think it's like a time jump into the 80s where Maxine is still like pursuing her career as a porn star. So it's very like that. I don't
Yeah.
know if they're gonna
It's probably-
do as much of like the horror element, which I assume
I'm guessing
will.
it's gonna be like very like Linda Lovelace, like kind of like vibes and all that shit, and like very much like during like the boom of like the porn industry and all that shit, which is exciting. Like I feel like you don't see a lot of like movie like fucking Boogie Nights or like like what else is there?
Yeah, I thought that was an interesting twist when I was watching X for the first time. I was like, oh, like I'm typically not a slasher bitch, but like the fact that they're like, it's like based about them filming a porn is kind of like interesting.
Well,
and funny.
that's the thing too, because we talked about this last week with like one of the like the biggest slashers, fucking Halloween, and talking about how like sex was so like integrated into the plot line, and how like it's kind of like a subplot almost. Like it's always there, but like you're not like really thinking about it and everything like that. This is like the entire narrative of X. This is all porn. There's so much fucking going on, and like that's the whole thing. Jenna Ortega wants to get in on it.
Oh
like,
my god, which again, slayed in this. But yeah, there's the whole like slasher trope of like final girls, and like the final girl is like the girl who typically is left at the end on.
She's like the one that's not been
and,
fucking.
Like she's and she's always the virgin, right?
Yeah.
She's the one. If it's like in Halloween, if you're fucking, you get clapped, and if you're a loser virgin, you get to live, which is like typically how slasher movies like that's the big trope, right? And in this movie, they're just like all doing porn, but like not that she's implied to be a virgin, but they like call her church mouse, and she's very like more conservative about the whole thing. I forget her name, but Jenna Ortega.
Yeah.
She eventually does come around to it and participate.
She's like,
but
wait, I want to do the porn.
she's like, his dick is fucking huge. She's like, let me get in on that. When she's like holding the boom mic and she's like peeking in, and she's like, fuck. Oh my god, when her boyfriend cries in the shower though.
So funny.
So funny.
He should have died.
Yeah.
Bro, support your woman.
When Pearl kills him, I'm like, yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she gets clapped. She gets shot in the face.
Yeah, well that's, oh my god, that's one of the parts in the movie that like slasher-wise really made me want to die, was when she's like breaking out of like the basement.
Her thumb gets
her whole hand gets like smacked with an axe or whatever. I was sitting there, I was like, whoa!
Yeah, mutilating of hands is so jarring because you can like feel it, right?
Yeah,
you're like,
exactly.
to like slam your like finger in a door, but it's not a door, it's an axe.
Yeah.
Like, ugh.
But yeah, no, so it's so weird because she's like the one that like she's like the little virgin that like does not end up getting away, which like they almost like not like make you think she's gonna, but like she's
close.
Yeah,
she
she's
makes
close.
it close to the end.
Yeah. Again, shot in the face.
Yeah. When Pearl flies back, Pearl shoots her with the shotgun and flies back in the same way.
So funny.
Same way that Beatrix Kiddo flies back in Kill Bill Part 2. And she just poof. So funny. Like the kickback of the gun just...
That part of the movie made me want to... I was scream crying watching her fly through the door.
And the fact that...
She's like, my hip's broken, help me!
And the fact that the sound of the shotgun just kills Howard. He literally just got it up for the first time in 3 decades and successfully, like, busted. And then...
It's just straight up dust.
But then the sound of the shotgun, he's like, croaked.
Which is so funny because he killed Kid Cudi already, like with the same. I don't know if it was the same gun or whatever.
It must have been.
Too many shots fired that night. Bro, he gets 3 shots off. One with a gun, one with his dick, and then the last one really did.
To his cardiovascular system.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but I did think it was such brave filmmaking to show
Cock. Oh, cum.
Yeah, when he like, she's like wiping his nut off of her back, like Brittany Snow. Like,
Oh, yeah.
We rarely ever see
never
semen, and I feel like what is Silence of the Lambs is like one of the only other ones that I can call of when the guy like throws his semen on Clarice as she's walking down the hallway and it gets in her hair. You know what I'm talking about? That's like the only other time in movie I can like think that we like see cum. Like, I don't know.
Well, like for a long time we didn't see cock. You know what I mean? Like we're hardly like we're still getting there. We didn't even like we got like the silhouette of Kid Cudi's giant ass dick.
We're really making a lot of progress in
but
film.
you know what I mean? No, but like it is an important discussion to be had. Like for decades and decades and decades. It's like
and especially
tits
like
and
female
yeah,
nudity.
it's all tits and bush. You know what I mean? Why don't I get to see cock?
I don't know if I want to.
Sorry. I'm a feminist, and if someone's showing boobs and bush, you better show me your dong as well.
Show hole. I'm sorry, you don't make the rules.
Exactly. Like, this is just what's right. Sorry. But yeah, no. That is true though. Like, no, you don't see cum.
No, but when it just was kind of a jump scare to me. I was like, oh,
Ooh.
it's a little cornstarch and water.
Oh,
a little
God.
mixture. Maxine's like boyfriend fiance guy who just like it's kind of a nothing character, but I guess he's sort of like the ringleader, like the organizer or whatever.
Gets stabbed through the eyes.
That was a lot.
That was a lot for you?
Just like the eyeball sound, the gushing. But tell me that's not like budget Luke Wilson. I literally had to look up if that was Luke. I was like, that's Luke Wilson, and it's not,
entirely.
I was like, that's like Walmart Luke Wilson. I mean, he's a fine actor, but he just looked like that guy to me.
No, you are correct. You are correct. Just Luke Wilson. But
sorry, I'm just having.
I'm just look at me. Oh God.
Praying.
Do we want to get into our regularly scheduled programming?
Yes. So do we want to do 2 separate fuck, marry, kills, one for X and one for Pearl?
Sure.
So I feel like in Pearl, I'm going to have it be like Maxine.
You mean for...
Oh, sorry, for X. For X, it's going to be
Maxine.
Like Maxine. I don't really want to include the old people because they're fucked, but like, so...
Well, should we do all the porn stars?
Okay, so yeah, we'll do 4, and then what do we want to make our 4th rogue one be? Like...
Should we do 4? I mean, we could just do Britney Snow, Kid Cudi, and Mia Goth.
Yeah, but then we're leaving out Jenna Ortega, but that's fine. Because that's fine. So I'm gonna marry Kid Cudi. I'm gonna kill Britney Snow, and I'm gonna fuck Maxine. I think that's pretty easy.
Really?
Yeah. Just because he seemed like the most normal person, because Britney Snow's character was kind of fucking annoying.
Yeah.
And Maxine is addicted to cocaine. Which, I mean, I'm sure they all are, but...
That's a green flag.
I just don't know if I can roll like that. Like
I'm going to marry Maxine. It's not going to be a very long marriage, but it's going to be a fun one.
Yeah. True.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to marry Maxine. I like that rebellious nature that she's got. That she's like, "Fuck you, pastor dad. I'm gonna go do porn."
Yeah. See, I just think that there's too much. There's too much
going on.
Family issues that I don't want to get intertwined with.
Sometimes I like a little bit of mess. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna kill Kid Cudi because his cock would kill me if I didn't. It's too much. I know myself a little too well. That's too much. I'm a little scared. And
you're not a size queen?
No, absolutely not. And then I'm gonna fuck Britney Snow.
Okay, yeah. I loved when she was like faking it hardcore.
Yeah.
And when she was like fake moaning to show him, she's like, yeah, I'm a fucking actress.
Yeah,
like,
it was very When Harry Met Sally.
Yeah, I loved that.
I'd like to,
And then from Pearl,
she'd like really boost my ego. Like even if like I didn't do a good job,
her
I would
hair
still
is
feel like
beautiful.
Exactly.
She had great. She has nice hair.
Yeah.
Then from Pearl, there's like Pearl the projectionist and like
her mother,
the mom. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna marry Pearl because I feel like
you two are the same.
Because I feel like I could give her the life that she deserves, and I would support her, and I would say, "Babe, you're a great dancer. Let's move to the big city. Let's move to the big city and like get you in some lessons, maybe." You know, I would help her get off the farm because I don't want to fucking live on a farm either. The way that like her husband was like rich and then was like, "JK, I want to be a farmer." Who the fuck wants to? I mean,
yeah, that's fucked up.
I guess it's like. In today, I could understand why in 2022 you might want to be a farmer because that seems like kind of like a peaceful rural life of like domesticity. But back in the day, when you don't have the grocery store, no ma'am, not for me. So I would take Pearl away. I'm gonna fucking kill her mom, and then I'm gonna fuck the projectionist. Duh.
See,
we're gonna make a porn. We're gonna make a stag film and go to Europe.
See, I'm gonna marry him to do that, so we can like.
He's got big plans for sure.
He's got big plans. I'm hoping we can get like a nice little villa in like Italy or something like that. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Maybe France. Probably France. They seem like more into like the porn.
Open like a really ahead of its time like porn studio.
Yeah,
like a woman focused. porn studio, like in 1920 though.
Yeah,
that would do really well, I think.
Obviously, for sure. I'm gonna fuck Pearl so that she doesn't have to give herself a rash fucking the Scarecrow.
Oh my god. She's gonna kill you after though, because when you go cold on her, she's gonna say, I thought you liked me!
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, she is gonna, there's no shaking Pearl. So you should probably kill her, because that's
I probably should. Yeah, I guess I should.
Fuck the mom, she's gotta have some sort of pent up energy.
Yeah. She doesn't have any energy left because she's just been running the farm all day.
True.
So I'm just gonna let her lay there and yeah.
Yeah, she deserves it. Yeah, her husband is vegetable. I don't know if I can say that.
Unwell.
Incapacitated.
Yeah, her husband is unwell. I'll fuck the mom and I'll kill Pearl just out of pure necessity because I can't handle her.
It's a all or nothing situation.
Yeah,
with her,
no. I think you two would do really well. I think you two would be like that really cute couple that like looks very the same.
Oh my god, like are they siblings or are they dating?
Yeah, exactly. I love this for you, actually. I feel like you guys both have like the same energy sometimes.
Thanks.
Is that a couple?
Thanks.
Very balls to the walls.
And then I honestly haven't given this a single ounce of thought of what you should eat or drink with either of these movies because I didn't like just if you say any related pork product, I'm gonna execute you on sight because that nasty ass fucking pig with the maggots made me like I did not like that. There is the scene where they have the lemonade, so you could do like a nice little like spiked lemonade, or you could do like a Mike's Hard, could be like a.
Be serious.
I don't know. I do like out of all the Mike's lemonade products, Mike's Harder Blood Orange is the one that I will stand by as being pretty okay. Any sort of fortified, like if there's like an option for it to have more ABV, I love that.
Well, yeah.
They're like, hey, it tastes the same, but it's better, like more. I'm always like, yeah, why don't they do this with all drinks? But I don't know, like maybe like just some like Chex Mix. What do you eat and drink with this movie? It's fucked up. We snuck Taco Bell into the theater when I saw it, and we had a Baja Blast, and I feel like the Baja Blast is kind of the star of soda products. Yeah. So I would say Pearl's sort of the Baja Blast of the 1920s. So maybe that's what you do.
Yeah. I mean, I think to like the scene where it's like David Cornsweat's come in like to the house after like the big fight and everything, there's corn all over the ground. Yeah. You could do like a really good like roasted corn kind of thing.
Any of the foods shown in the movie are just like I don't want it.
You know what I kind of want? I kind of want like rock candy. You know what I mean? Like really like old school kind of candy like sort of thing. Yeah. So you could do, oh my god, yeah, like a Spikes Baja Blast, because it's got that same color as like rock candy? Yeah, like those little rock candies.
What did she say? She's like, I used the rest of the money for some sweets for the way home. Get some like some penny candy.
Exactly.
That could be.
Yeah, I think like a little rock candy and like popcorn, like very like stereotypical like. Going to the pictures, you know what I mean?
Drink a little morphine.
Yeah, a little morphine. Also,
microdose a little bit of your dad's medicine.
Exactly. It's fine. Yeah, I think like a rock candy or like a really like old school like old fashioned candy, a Spikes Baja Blast
with some glitter on top, maybe.
Yeah, because she's a star.
She's a star.
I think that's a good one.
You could also try to look up some like cocktails from like World War I, but I feel like all those old ass cocktails are just like gin in a cup, and it's a gimlet, and you're like, what the fuck? Like that's just a cup of gin.
Like, if you could get yourself a lime at that point in time, go for it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So yeah, I think something old school like that. Because also, then you're gonna have to. It's like with X, like what do you?
Alligator. You can eat alligator.
You can.
I've heard it's like a tough chicken.
Yeah, I have heard that. But what am I? Because obviously you watch them back to back.
Yeah, and that's as far as what do you your follow discretion. Up with? I don't even know. And I like that they are pretty interchangeable of what order you want to watch them in.
Either or.
I would say like at this point in time, my suggestion would be to watch X and then go see Pearl because that's like obviously the way they were released. But truthfully, you don't need one to get the full story of the other. Like they're not. It's just like little things that you'll pick up on that you'll be like, oh, that's so like fun, or like, oh, that's adding a little bit more context for me, or whatever. But otherwise, they could stand separately. Like, I don't know.
Entirely. No, so I think you just watched these two movies.
The only thing I had written down was Charlotte's Web. Because that's also about like a farm where there's a star. There's like a star on the farm who we all need to be paying attention to, but this time it's not a farm girl, it's a pig.
Yeah,
So Charlotte's Web was the only other. Or I guess you could watch The Wizard of Oz, but that's like,
tired.
Yeah,
that's tired. Tired is Wizard of Oz, Wired is Charlotte's Web.
This is completely unrelated, but if anyone needs a really funny Halloween costume idea, I was recently thinking, if you've seen the new release, Jordan Peele's Nope, if anyone wants to be Jean Jacket, the big thing in the sky from the movie Nope, I think if you just got like a big white cowboy hat and like maybe added some streamers or something, I don't know, get creative with it, but I was thinking about how that would be a really fucking funny Halloween costume. If anyone needs that, you can just have that one for free, because I clearly am already in my bag. Yeah, I don't know. Free Halloween. Also, please continue to send us your Halloween costumes from the past and from this year. We've gotten so many fucking like good ones already. Like y'all are so creative and fun, and I think our audience is the kind of people who fuck with Halloween.
I can't stop. Like this entire podcast, I just wanted to like touch the little glitter.
It's a little itchy. I'm not gonna lie, but this dress was like definitely made in a sweatshop.
Definitely.
But. Sorry. But yeah, also keep sending us your Halloween stuff. Send us your movie suggestions. We're obviously doing slashers through the end of this month, but moving forward, we always love to hear movie suggestions of stuff you would like us to cover, or just like shit that you love that you're like, hey, I love this movie. Because sometimes I'm like, what? I've never fucking heard of that. And then I look it up. I'm like, that's so cool, because you all have similar tastes. Similarly, we just started a Discord channel. Has a couple of people have joined, and it's been like really cute so far, just like mingling and chatting, talking about movies, which I can realize it can be kind of like intimidating at first, because it's like kind of awkward to like participate in something like that sometimes, but I encourage everyone to check it out. If you don't have a Discord, it's just like a big group chat thing, and we broke it up into little channels for people to like show us your pets and talk about new releases and just stuff, because all of you are so nice and cool, and we want you to talk to each other, because we're trying to make a little community. I don't know. And then obviously the links to all of our other shit is in the description. TikTok, Instagram, all of that. We'll definitely post some pics of our little outfits that we're doing today, and our YouTube as well if you want to check out.
Please.
Hopefully I'll have this uploaded. I'm a bad person. Also, hopefully maybe new merch soon. I'm in a new apartment with a new job now, so I have a little more free time, so maybe some more, if you have merch suggestions, I guess. If you're like, I really need there to be baseball hats, then maybe I can make that happen for you. I don't know, but I'll try. And I think that's like kind of it, right? We love you all. Thank you so much for listening, and goodbye and good night.